My focus is to capture that sense of vulnerability that most people feel but won't really admit to, and just those cliche, feelings. Because there were a couple cliche lines, but let's be honest, like, feeling like that, feeling a certain way for somebody and just not showing it, like, it's just not realistic. And my focus was just to capture that sense of vulnerability you get once you put your heart out there and just like lay your guard atop, a puddle of mud, just to prove to somebody that chivalry is not dead. Because nowadays, most girls or most people in general actually don't believe in chivalry, and there are some people left who still do it. But by believing in that, you're just putting yourself out there more and just leaving a possibility of just heartbreak. Really, when I'm thinking of a poem, I always look back to my mentor, the person who really inspired me to start writing more and more. It was Chaz Woodson, actually. I would read some of his poetry, and I would take a line, and that feeling, like I would take a line that gave me that feeling and put it in the poem and just build around it, because that's the basis of what I was feeling. Or just most of the time, just write in the heat of the moment. Because for me, writing is more so of a therapeutic thing. And if I'm feeling down one day, or if I'm just really upset or heartbroken over something, I'll literally just that moment, I'll just be like, you know what? Instead of going on Facebook or somewhere else and just like venting to people who don't even care, I'll just put it in the poem and try to capture how I feel so that others can get an idea of what I'm feeling. It's kind of like telling somebody or the certain person who made you feel that way without actually directly telling them, and putting it in a form that everybody can see and be like, wow, this is how that person's feeling. I can relate. Actually, Chaz is more of a recent inspiration, but to be honest, I've been writing poetry since I was 7. Everybody, if you ask anybody, have they ever written poetry, when they would be like, yeah, I wrote one like in 5th grade or when they were young. But I really started when I was young because I grew up in a rough background, and there were just a lot of problems, like with the way I grew up and just like family life. It was hard, and you know, I've always had a fascination with just like the creative things, like the arts. So I literally just it just became a habit. Most of the times when I would be upset, I'd be like, wow, what can I do to help this? So I just wrote it down. And I actually have a collection of some poems that I've written since I was young. But mainly it's just the way I was brought up and just the type of life I had to endure. I kind of do it to show the person or whoever inspired me, whether it's good or bad, who inspired me to write the poem, how I feel. And instead of just saying, hey, you make me feel sad, you make me happy, you make me want to hug you, you make me cry, I instead, I write a poem to put forth what I'm feeling in a creative manner so that they can just say, oh, he's being genuine, or he's just not, just telling me this just so, I can, hug him or whatever. I do it because it makes me feel better, and it's a creative outlet versus just going out there and just being bitter and just altogether just having a negative outlook on life.